All right, well, excuse the noise and excuse the mess. It's the only place where I can get a little time to kind of give you a lowdown on what's going on. So this is the new shell. These are the new shell bases. I've got more over here printing. And I'm still gonna have to make a few adjustments, but I'm almost there. I've got good primer seating on these. These are 2.5 millimeter rims. This is just hot glued. I normally would use the 2-part epoxy and epoxy these into the 1.5 inch, but I didn't, just for expediation, or expediency purposes. So you can see the copper cap in there, and that's the metal cup. Obviously, drilling them perfectly center with a hand drill is very hard, so I got it as close as I could for right now. Once I get everything squared away, I'll get a punch unit and I'll have a tool made so I can punch them out exactly. So that's just kind of the go. This is the 1.8 17 gauge brass, and I'm gonna have an expander to straighten it out. So when you cut these with the brass, you can cut it with a giant tubing cutter, and they'll work. Just take your time, go a notch, go around, go a notch, go around, because what happens is it curls inward if you put too much pressure, and then you have trouble with your diameter up here being smaller than it should be. So you have to get in a pipe expander to expand it out, get it back true. This one is the test right. I actually just super glued this one in just for the heck of it, and I kind of boogered it up a little bit, but that's okay. I've got it with some hot glue in there. I'm going to scrape this off. I just want it where I can fire at least one round out of it. And this is a lot. See if we can get a, yeah, there you go. This has a higher base on it. You see the base height on this one's double what the little one is. The little one's flush with the cup pretty much. This one's double, it's a little higher. So you can stack a couple pellets in there if you wanted to. I don't advise that. I use 777. 777 is it's a pyrodex as well. And I apologize for the shakiness, but it's a pyrodex as well, but it's actually about 15% more powerful than pyrodex of the same volume. So a 50 grain pyrodex pellet, or I'd rather a 50 grain 777 pellets, about equal to roughly 60 grains of pyrodex. So if you do a normal 60 grain load on pyrodex, then 50 grains of 777 will give you the same velocities. And I've actually found that they're actually a little cleaner. But so these are the shells. Over here we got, let's see if I can find a all right, so here's a little olive drab pusher with a nose cone. So yeah, see, it won't quite go down in there because I've got that little lip I've got to straighten out. That's one of the things I'm going to do. On this one, it should seat. Look at that. So that's pretty good. Holds in there. So if you were to fire this off with a 50 grain pyrodex charge or 777, what I would do is put the charge down in there. Then I would take, I have some 5/8 inch hole punches. I'll punch 2 or 3 cardboard holes out, put them down in there, put a little hot glue on top of that just to seal them in, and then go ahead and seat this in here, and it'll fire fine. Now obviously the closer you can get this round to the base down here, better of a seal it's going to have. So see if I can kind of give you an idea. So it's close. You want it, I mean, ideally you would like for this bottom to touch the top of the base, and then that seals that little area, gives the only room, it gives a little bit of volume push. At least that's my theory, and it seems to work out, because when I do these like this where the casing is there's spacing in the casing, they don't seem to have as much volume as these that touch. Or say volume, as much pressure and as much distance. But I'm going to do like a very in-depth testing, get the video camera set up. I actually have the video camera right over here. So still working on that though, but this is my little workspace, and unfortunately it's a mess right now. I've got to clean up. I've been loading so much stuff, got trash to throw away, filaments to sort, and tools to put away, but it's my little mad scientist lab. So anyway, this is kind of where I come up with. I think it's gonna be a good one. I think this right here, I'll sell as kits. You can buy your own 1.5-inch pipe online. I will eventually sell the pipe as well, but I'm just going to sell the bases already with the cups installed, and I might even sell one where it's just the bases and and a cup, and you can drill it yourself. That way you can't blame me if you screw it up. Just kidding. But seriously, some people are more anal about it. Some people may have better equipment, drill press or whatnot, that they can center it. And you can always print a tool, and that's actually a good idea. I might print a tool that you can chuck up in a vise that this will hold these bases, so you can drill them properly, I guess. Or I guess you don't need the base drill. The base has a hole in it. So yeah, the base has a primer hole already in it. So anyway, that's just kind of a catch-up video here. Earlier when I was talking about the hybrid cases, these are the hybrid cases. These should last many shots, and they're going to be cheap enough that you'll get, I'll probably sell like a 6-pack of the bases, and then I'll throw in like 2 extra bases for free. So you have enough that you can replace a couple when they go bad, or you can just buy 2 or 3 6-packs and just stick them back. And once you get your shell stash built up where you have 20-30 shells, if you're like me, you'll just keep buying more pipe and keep making more shells, because it's fun. It's better to have a whole bunch of them already made up and put away, but anyway, I'll have these spaces for sale on eBay soon, with the instructions, and after that, once I recoup some of my money, then I will release the files on Odyssey, on my Odyssey page, and I'm going to release a bunch of files for hybrid shells, 12 gauge blank hybrids. They're short as well. They're for the 22 gauge. I'll release them. I've got this is another 12 gauge hybrid, one of my first iterations. I'll release them and bill of materials. I have a few other things I'm working on. I'll get to this. This is a faucet nut, and it is got some of the right dimensions, but there's still some things that need to be done in order to make it usable, and I'm working on that, including a metal insert with I'm not going to show the inside just yet because I'm not quite done with it. So there's still more coming, and the whole idea is to give everybody out there with the 37s something cheap that they can do themselves with off-the-shelf parts, and then can make it a little cheaper and more fun for the hobby. You can load up massive amounts of ammo too, which is great. It's a lot better to go out with 50, 60, 70, 100 rounds and shoot all day and not have to worry about reloading while you're out there. This is a 37 to 26.5 10-inch, or actually 10.75 inch adapter. This is a custom order for a customer. He contacted me and stated he wanted one of these because he has some long flare shells that he wanted a little more protection for the barrel of his TAC 79. So this is made exactly for the TAC 79. It fits perfectly. Everything is great on it. The only thing I have left now to do is actually put the Schedule 40 pipe in it to give it protection. Since it's just shooting flares, you're good to go. 26.5, there's no anti-personnel rounds made for it. Pretty much you would have to make them yourself. So this again is not for use for anti-personnel purposes. This is for use with converting 26.5 long flares to fire out of your 37 millimeter. But if anybody's interested in these, I'm going to make a few and put them away. This one's the second one being printed right now, but I'm gonna make a few of these. They are my design. They're based on an existing design, but I went ahead and changed a few things parameter wise to give these a pretty good fit, and they are made for the TAC 79. So if you have something different, I can't guarantee a fit, but I'm always open. If you want me to do something custom let me know. I'll try to do it, and if I have the launcher, great. And that's one of the things I want to do is buy more of the launchers. So I'd like to have an example of pretty much every one that's made. That way I can pull out and test fit and make sure things actually fit the way they're supposed to. That's kind of one of my goals, is to be able to offer something for everybody. And hopefully everybody that will upgrade to a 40 mic as well, because these are going to be a whole lot of fun. These are the impact rounds from Bengal's bullets. I was plugging him earlier. This is the 40 millimeter version. They are very cool. With 40 mic, it's a destructive device, so you can't store the blank in there. It becomes an ATF storage issue. So essentially, once these are armed and everything, this is a loaded round, but if it doesn't have the blank in it, it's not. So there's a lot of little hoops for destructive devices you have to jump through. So they consider this round a destructive device by itself with the blank inserted. Without it, it's nothing. So all my 40 mics are like that on purpose. Same with these. No blank in them. But I highly advise everybody to get a 40 millimeter if you can. I picked up mine off of Gunbroker. Just a gas launcher. It will fire all those, plus HEDP or whatever. Oh, obligatory feet shot. So it'll still fire the HEDP. I mean, it's not really built for it, but it will fire it. So hey, there's tons of stuff to do out there. These are a couple cherry poppers I'm working on. These are just 37 off of these are the plans are on Odyssey and a couple other places out there. This is Unseen Killer's design. It's pretty good. They fit together pretty nice. This one I modified with some finger grab holes for the shells, and I redid the breech cut because I didn't like the original breech cut on it. The shells didn't seat right for me, so instead of messing around with it, I just said, hey, I'm gonna cut it so it fits perfect, and you can grab your shells and everything out of it. That's the one I just made, the long one. So, and short one right here, same thing. So there we go. Kind of get an idea how that fits down there. This is just a fence post, 1 5/8. Again, if you got a 3D printer, you can do a lot of stuff. The designs are pretty solid. There's some out there that are better than others. Unseen Killer's designs are pretty robust, especially this one and the Geneva, I think it's the Geneva Breacher. So you can look those both up. They're pretty cool. But yeah, that is just a flare launcher. It's not a destructive device. It's made only for flares, smooth bore, fence post, barrel. 3D printers, man. It's awesome. That's why these freaking communists out there want to try to control them. They don't want people being able to print cool stuff like this. So the crowd over there with the 3D printers, pretty eclectic bunch, but really good people. All of them have been great with helping me with getting my printers tuned and bashing some of my uglier builds, but that's okay. I don't mind. I print it just so I can learn, and once I learn, I adjust fire and go from there. I mean, I'm old school. I'm better with hands-on than I am with trying to do hours of research. I'm like, hey, just let me throw something on there and see how it turns out, and then see what I did wrong. And it's getting better. I mean, the quality of everything is real good now on these little bed slingers. Before, they was having a lot of issues with them, but I finally got the tuning down pretty well. So, and then this thing here is paying for itself already. So you can finance these things. I financed this one for an absurd amount of price and money, but hey, it's worth every penny to me. Matter of fact, if I get some money coming in, I might have an increase on my VA. If I get that, then I'm gonna buy 3 more of these, and maybe 1 more of the enders just to put away, and I'll have a 8 bank farm, and all what I'll do is I'll use the enders to make these this type of stuff, 4 or 6 packs, cones, nose cones, pushers, and shells and stuff, because they don't have to be pretty to work. I don't care if it's a little flawed or whatever. Oh, it has a seam. Oh, that's a little rough on the edges. Oh, your filament wasn't dry enough. Does it go in the launcher and fire? Yes. Is it probably going to break and blow up? Yes. Who cares? So, you know, I've got tons of them made up. This was full yesterday, over 100 shells, pushers, cones. So we're working on it. I've got all kinds of stuff. I just keep making it and putting it back. That's the aerial burst chambers for the loose change. So I've got all kinds of good stuff, man. Brass, already pre-cut, stuff to build. Lots and lots of stuff to build. And when I retire, that'll be my full-time job, pretty much, just doing that. When I want to do it, pretty much. Anyway, I appreciate it. Y'all take care. Have a great rest of the day.